Ironic, isn't it? Oh, for the last several months, for the last few years, we have witnessed the finals road to Forbidden Door. And what poetic irony this is, honestly. It all comes full circle when you think about it. Chris Jericho, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the two people who coined the phrase Forbidden Door. And now you have Jon Moxley, the man who kicked down AEW's doorway and went to New Japan Pro Wrestling to compete in the G1 Climax. It's ironic, isn't it? Well, there is a bit of irony to this, especially with Lance Archer involved. Remember how this all started? Kenta attacking Jon Moxley, and it led to Jon Moxley and Lance Archer teaming up to take on the combined threat of Kenny Omega, by God, and Kenta. Kenny Omega and Kenta. That was an awesome match. It's so beautiful. It's a masterpiece. Anyways, it's ironic. Imagine if Kenny Omega wasn't hurt and Kenta was practically not doing anything as far as I'm aware. I haven't heard much from him. Imagine if Kenny Omega wasn't hurt. They could have done a six-way tag. They could have done a six-man tag team match. Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho. Kenny Omega would team up with Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi, since had Kenny Omega not gotten hurt, I believe he would have turned face by this point, especially with the Adam Cole stuff going on. But he would team up with his mortal enemy Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jon Moxley. I wonder how that interaction would go, honestly. And they would fight Kenta, Chris Jericho, and Lance Archer. It would be a full circle moment, and we would all go to Crazyville with it. But what we get, this 2-on-2 match, Jon Moxley's like, let's do it. The only thing, I'll take the beer belly one. Imagine if he said that. He told Hiroshi he'll take the beer belly guy, which is Jericho for many people, and they just brawl like they do. And oh god, it's mostly the aftermath I loved most about this finale. This match was a good end to the build-up, a good end to their build-up for Forbidden Door as we reach the end game of this era of wrestling and head on to the next phase. Oh man, this was a fun match, and I'm amazed at the level Hiroshi can still perform at with the amount of injuries he's built up over the years, especially with his knees, his aging knees. It still amazes me how good he is in the ring, and even does his high-flying move, and yet you're like, how is this guy able to still keep doing this? And the highlight for me in the match was Chris Jericho catching him and putting him in the walls of Jericho. If Jericho was in his prime, imagine how more awesome that would have been. Jericho, Hiroshi Tanahashi jumps off, flies onto Jericho. Jericho rolls him and with seamless transition smoothness, captures him in the Lion Tamer and starts to put the submission move on him. Imagine that. Oh, and Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti was there, but we don't care anyways about them. So moving on from those two, getting their asses kicked by Jon Moxley, mostly Sammy Guevara, because Moxley's not going to hit a woman. I mean, like, unless this was GCW, then that would be a totally different answer. Lance Archer is just there. I know for poetic sake, there's a reason. I don't think AEW had this big master plan to okay, we're gonna build this up and get all the way there. There's this poetic irony here. No, at best, they probably realized we can do that. It started with Lance Archer, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, and Kenta as the first match of the new Forbidden Door era. it should theoretically end with those two, since Kenta and Omega are currently out for reasons. Mostly Omega's hurt. The guy doesn't know when to stop, business-wise. But heading into the show, you get worried watching the show because you realize how many people have been injured throughout the last month. Please know, I just said the last month, not the last several months. Like, almost half of the industry's biggest stars are injured. For WWE, that's practically all of them, and Roman's on vacation, so yeah. And oh man, Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi got the victory for their team. Quality good match, just a standard good tag team match for me. Then we got the ending, and that's when it goes balls to the wall insane. And Kingston comes out and starts to beat the crap out of everybody with a steel chair. Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi are staring at each other in the ring, talking. Kingston attacks Jericho and Sammy, and then here comes Yuta to even the odds. And Eddie just grabs the chair and tosses it right into Sammy's face. And then here comes Minoru Suzuki, just grinning and like, oh, no one invited me to this. I feel insulted. And because Yuta is in Blackpool Combat Club and all of them need to have a specific fetish. Bryan has his blood, Jon Moxley has his hardcore wrestling style, and probably sex. Yuta is like, I want to go into death traps. Yeah! Oh, and the wild things. Moxley has the wild things. Yeah, Yuta attacks Minoru Suzuki, and Moxley and Tanahashi, they're still just like, they're still staring each other down as the chaos starts to spread, as the J.A.S, as the Jericho Appreciation Society comes out, while Minoru Suzuki strikes Wheeler with a chair. Then comes Santana Ortiz. Then Lance Archer finally gets up from his little outing and joins the fray involving popcorn. Yeah, that was a thing. But not Moxley and Tanahashi, they're still staring each other down like... And Yuta once again is like, I must be a glutton for punishment! And fights Minoru Suzuki, and it ends on that cliffhanger. Like, okay, if you want to build a super macho dream match for many, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about this. I pitched this several, like, man, it's 3 years will be a decade since it happened, where the Shield and the Evolution were feuding. I pitched that Triple H should Roman Reigns, since that was the obvious match they're gonna do down the road. I thought just have the Shield fight each other with Evolution while Roman and Triple H just stare each other down as the chaos around them goes on. And then they start brawling. But instead, Moxley and Tanahashi are like, we're gonna take this idea and fuck it. But we're not going to fight. We're just going to stare each other down because we're not stereotypes like the Coexist team over in the company that's currently undergoing massive investigations and even had a shocking moments or two. Mostly politics-wise. Like this, okay, let me just sum this up quickly. Succession wishes they had this kind of drama. Succession wishes they had that kind of much attention on their show than what's going on in WWE. Let's just say that. Okay. I'm like, Succession's still a good show, but still, I'm just saying. But, yeah, it's New Japan, it's AEW, brawling, alliances forging. I still can't picture J.A.S and Suzuki-Gun just being allies out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it's primarily because they hate Moxley and, well, actually, that makes sense now. Moxley and Hiroshi have history with Suzuki-Gun, and Jericho hates them more than anyone, and he has no beef with Suzuki-Gun, at least until Jericho accidentally probably slams the steel chair in Minoru's back by accident. Though since they're a sports entertainment faction, I would wonder why they would team up with the devil. But yeah, Forbidden Door is this weekend. I am excited as all can be. And there are a series of matches that were going to happen. Sadly, did not happen because damn the injury bug right out of nowhere. But AEW New Japan had to counteract, and like, we have some matches we can still do. We can still do this match, because here's the funny thing. Tony Khan revealed, yes, I personally stopped Hiroshi and Jon Moxley from ever fighting in New Japan because I felt like it should involve us. Which I mixed about, because it's like Hiroshi and Jon Moxley have deals with New Japan, so they should allow to do the match. On the other hand, I get why he wanted that, because it should be a bigger deal than just be like the US show they did. But yeah, and he even says like it's fate. Sadly, it came at the expense of CM Punk getting hurt, so. And we can't even get Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson because Bryan's hurt and is gonna miss Blood and Guts. The one thing Bryan wanted when he left, besides bleeding a lot because he has a fetish, has been ripped from him before he could. Damn it. But yeah, I feel like AEW and New Japan managed to rebound just enough just to get the hype back on going. I'm like, they have a sold out venue, so I'd say they're good. They could have just not cared whatsoever, but they were like, we have to rebound from this. We gotta win the fans' trust. They paid money for a match, for a show that had nothing on it. We need to deliver big time on this. Especially with all these injury bugs going on. We have to fight the bug. So props to that at least. But we still got some insane matches. And sadly, there was another thing. Will Ospreay was supposed to fight on Andrade, but CMLL and AAA decided to still be dicking with each other and be like, you, fuck you. We're never gonna let you have wrestling fans have their fun. Fuck you. Which that makes me realize, if FTR hold the New Japan IWGP Tag Team Gold, does that mean they would have to drop the AAA Tag Team belts because CMLL, WL, whatever, are petty about this? I don't know. But politics stopped Andrade and Will Ospreay. And it had nothing to do with New Japan and AEW. So, yeah, looking forward to Forbidden Door. I do have at least, hopefully I can squeeze in one more Reign of Pro Wrestling video. And after all this time, I feel like they rightfully earned to have the finale, at least for this branding I have going for WrestleVerse. But we'll see, depending on how my day, and if I get sick, then I'm really screwed. We'll have to see. But this is all I have for the time being. Looking forward to Forbidden Door, everybody. Looking forward to them fulfilling their destiny. This was Neo Reality Entertainment, The WrestleVerse, presenting Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer and Chris Jericho. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. See you all next time. Peace and take care, and have a good day, everybody. Peace out. See you at Forbidden Door.